Oh, there they go. Oh, mashallah. There, they look handsome. There they are.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا for that. As we mentioned many times, brothers and sisters, the whole world changed, and a lot of our Muslims, a lot of our youth left the Islam. And very soon, inshallah, I'm going to speak about Sunnahfollowers. What is the reason our kids leave in the Islam? There's a reason, actually, two reasons. I'm going to speak about it, inshallah, in the future. But I texted Brother Muhammad today. We spoke together about a very important topic. I shared with him. Number one, how to protect ourselves. Protect ourselves from many things going to start to share it together. And household and the community as Muslims, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salam.
We discussed today in the text message I sent you. And alhamdulillah, really, and I really appreciate you sharing with us and we learn from you. Now, I'm not, here, the shuyukh, normally, shuyukh not speaking the way you speak. Because my job as a sheikh, ask me halal, haram, I give you answer. I don't know the answer, I go to my box or my shuyukh. But in our present time, in fact, many people giving fixing problem in the community because he's an imam, but at the same time, we're not qualified. We're not, yes, now there's some courses, actually, imam taking courses, and it requires with that community caring about the community, the imam caring about, plus the board of the masjid caring about the imam and the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to, as an imam, in this time, because it's not 20 years ago, it's not 10 years ago, it's now. As an imam, as a leader, as a board member, as a Muslim, in general, we have to care about each other.
Yes.
And if you want to get into the mindset of the younger generation, the younger population, why don't they like Islam? What are they upset about? Why are they leaving? Why aren't they coming to the masajid? Why, what's going on here? You got to take the time to study, to research, to learn from what's
the parents,
the parents, the leaders, the parents, not just the parents, the board members, the leaders.
Yeah.
If you're in charge of the masjid, I know there's lots of board members, and all the masjids that we have, mashallah, everybody's a board member, but everybody that's on a board is stuck in that old mindset.
Some.
Yeah, well, most of them. Let's say most.
Agree.
Okay, I've been to some of these board meetings, and they're stuck.
Agree.
Most of them, you'll have one or two that agree, and they say, okay, he's right. We need to, understand the internet better. We need to see what their kids are watching. We need to get, trained on how to talk to our kids a certain type of way. You have imams that are younger that know the situation, maybe in their 20s and 30s, who have studied, who became imams, who can talk better to the kids and kind of relate better to the youth. And you have some imams and some board members who are kind of just stuck.
Yeah,
they don't want to change.
My way or the highway.
Exactly. And so you're not going to get the buy-in.
Yeah.
For the Muslims. And we agree. We say it's everything's in the Quran, everything's in Sunnah, and you have to follow. That's it. And we don't want to explain and talk.
Exactly.
And kind of drop it down to their level, right? Talking to the kids at their levels, and kind of really gathering the best resources and the best people in your community who can talk to these kids. Because I can guarantee you, there's people in every community that are wanting to go talk to the kids, or wanting to go talk to the youth group, or making a presentation, or explaining certain things to the youth in their own way. But you have board members that will say, no, we don't, we'll do it our way.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it your way for the past 15 years, the past 5 years, the past 10 years.
Yes.
It hasn't been working.
Agree.
It hasn't been working.
And it's right, inshallah. But now, Brother Muhammad, we have a serious situation.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the parents. We discussed together.
Yeah.
We're going to speak. I'm going to speak about it. I discussed it. I text you. And the parents, and the husband, wife, individual, adults, married or not married, have a serious problem, and the community plus the kids.
So let's go with let's break it down little piece by piece. Right? There's a lot to tackle with this problem, right? Because a lot of times right now, I talk to couples who are getting married or are planning on getting married, younger couples, and the expectation of marriage is crazy. Let's be I'm gonna be real and say, like, it's crazy what the men think or what a wife should be, and then what a wife thinks a husband should be. It's very ridiculous what the expectations are
Yeah.
for each one. And you as they speak, I kind of get what they're saying, and I have to tell them, can you stop watching whatever you're watching online? Because the
Yeah.
stuff they see online, it tells them that they should, a man should expect this, and a woman needs to expect this, and it kind of it's false expectations. It creates these false realities that once they get married and they see it's not real, it's not the way they thought it was gonna be. They last maybe 6 months to a year, and then they divorce. And we get a lot of that. I'll give you some examples. Let's say, years back, I was in the courthouse, and you talk to these couples who are fighting, going through divorce or anything like this. And you ask the questions, what happened? Well, he was on Facebook and he kept liking all these pictures of this other woman. Because he liked pictures of a woman, you guys are divorcing? Well, yes, because he won't stop doing it.
Oh my God.
So when you see these things, when you see how the internet can break up marriages, lack of confidence, or lack of this guy who can't stop liking pictures, or the addiction to looking at on scrolling and like scroll like, you see that happening. And it's not drugs, it's not, he didn't cheat on her, he didn't steal from her, he didn't do drugs. It's the ridiculousness of how the internet can break up a marriage.
Yes.
Right. And then not just that, you talk to other people, you see what couples are going through, and the expectations of what they see online, where these guys are online saying, I've been married for 15 years, and this is how I treat my wife, and you got to treat her like this. And a woman who says, if you want to keep your man happy, or if you want to keep your marriage, you have to tell your man that he has to give you $50,000 million of meth. Well, calm down. Like, what
It happens.
It happens.
Actually, in Palestine, like us, a person, he proposed from one man, and they called me. I live in Boca Raton. Sheikh Ibrahim, can you perform a marriage? The Palestinian, absolutely. I drove 1 hour. And guess what? That marriage cost the party more than $1 million. Another thing, the mahr, $1 million. Guess what? Second day they divorce.
Okay. So now that should tell you something, right? We put a price on our deen, on our religion, right? And that's something we have to stop. We have to understand that that's not how it was done back in the days. Back in, not even just back in my parents' days, but back before that. We put a price on our religion. We put a price on our faith, and we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
We try to compete with what the society tells us that we have to do. We listen to what the society says, and we feel like we live in a society, we're going to do what the society says. And that's the opposite. And I know I say this a couple of times, but this world isn't built for the way we are.
Indeed.
And when we have to, they want us to adjust to their lifestyles. That's how they want us to do. If you want to live in the Western society, you have to live like the Western people. That's not true. I see it all the time with other faiths, that they live on their own. They do their own thing. They support each other. They help each other. They take care of each other. But then for some reason, us, our own people,
that's sad.
We want to live like the Western society wants to live.
Very sad. Yeah.
And it's sad. And it's not just, the marriages or the divorces or anything like that. The internet is a really scary place if you don't know how to really navigate around the bad stuff. Look what example was today when you texted me.
Yeah.
How did you text me? All that stuff you texted me.
I went to Google Translator and sent it to you. You send in
A
Arabic.
huge message.
This conversation, Brother Muhammad texted me and said, what do you think with the topic today? You have some ideas. I didn't text him earlier. A lot of things, and what do you think? This thing. But at the same time, in English, it's hard for me to translate this. I go to the Google Translate, I send it to him. And the end, This is by translation by Google.
It took a minute because I'm like, this is not Sheikh the Mali Toxin. Then I see the message. I'm like, oh, okay, he Googled.
Yeah, the
I
truth.
said, mashallah. But this is a prime example of how to use the internet
Yeah,
in a positive way,
yeah,
right? And so you can learn, and like I do, I learn a lot of Islamic lessons. I learn a lot of different things to talk about, watching the da'wah channels and different guys that talk online. Try to get my brain to kind of really understand the deen in a better way and how I can explain things to the kids in a better way.
indeed.
All right, because like to the example, I was just talking to your wife about how I was talking to the kids at the school about how.
Hold on. Are you there, Ayn?
She went upstairs. I think.
Doctor, okay, I think that goes in. She's gonna see you. She also see other important time. Please continue.
So when I explained to the kids, just talking to the group of boys in the sixth graders about how we're supposed to deal with each other, how we're supposed to talk to each other, and how we have to help each other up. Because I said to them, I explained to the kids, and I like to talk to the kids more than I like to talk to the parents, because at the same time, the kids go back and relay the messages that I tell them. Because I tell the kids, whenever your parents come to you and they say to you, hey, how was school today? You tell them, Brother Muhammad came in to school today, and he told us to tell you
So.
A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And so this way, it creates a conversation with the parents.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that. Remember, we talked last time about the closed-ended questions. Don't ask your kids how was school today. Good. Then they're done. No. What did you do in school today? Well, Brother Muhammad Ziyadi came in here and he talked to us about A, B, C, D, D. He told me to tell you, as you're my dad or as my mom, that we should do this. Because, and it works. And how do I know it works? Because the parents will see me at the masjids, different masjids that I go to, all the different masjids, or they'll see me at an Islamic event, and they'll come to me and say, hey, did you tell my son that I should play basketball with him? Do you know how tired I am after work? Do you know how I don't have time?
Oh my God.
and I'll laugh because I'll say yes, because I'm tired. We're all tired. But we want to have kids, and we're raising our kids in a non-Islamic, a non-Muslim environment. We have to put the kids around the Muslims that we want our kids to be like. Don't you want your son to be like you? And it makes them think, well, do I really want my kid to be like me? And if you're not a good representation for your own child, then maybe you should ask yourself, what am I doing wrong as a parent?
Yes. You bring something very important. Before my sickness, actually, I was an imam in Austin and also charged in the school in Austin, Texas. And we made a new curriculum, beautiful school, until now, mashallah.
Sure.
One day, one of the kids, very, very corrupted kids. And then I kicked him out of the school. There is no way to be in our school. Islamic school.
Yeah.
What about the school they're going to change with it? We make it like almost crimes. Not crime, crimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the father came to me, and it's very important. Many schools, the father came to me and said, Sheikh Ibrahim, I put in this school $1,000 a month. We did the fees, the 200, 300, and more money for her son. And then you cannot teach my son to be polite and educate and people ask nice. And of course, in the way he speaks, it's very nasty.
Yeah.
ليش ما تربيش ابنك؟ ابني تربي ابني. ربي ابني يعني ايش English ربي ابني.
Yeah, means you discipline my child.
No. And I said,
you teach my child.
I said, my job to teach your son education, not polite. You have to teach your son to be polite and etiquette and speak nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's school supposed to do. And then wallahi brother, I think that the paper, I said, hold the folder, and he showed me how much he did money, and cut it pieces, and throw it in his face. I said, go outside and don't come to the school and the masjid. My job to teach your son education. I teach your son be polite and etiquette and this amount of the etiquette. The parents, not the school.
Well,
don't complain to the school and the parents not polite.
Well, the parents expect, and I think this is what kind of all of us parents think, that if I have my kid in Islamic school, I don't have to worry anymore.
Yes, you're right.
And so the problem with that theory, with that thought process, is a prime example of today. where these sixth graders are saying these words, these bad words. They're saying these things that I explained to these kids. I said, I haven't heard language like this from until I was working in the prison.
Ya Allah.
I said, these are the words and the things that you're saying are the things the inmates used to say, the things that the prisoners used to talk about, the people that I used to throw in jail. These are the things that they say. For sixth grader Muslims to be talking like this, I said, I don't think, and I explained to them, I said, I don't think your mom talks like this. I don't think your father speaks like this. And I'm pretty sure the Islamic school doesn't talk like this. So what are you doing?
Excellent. How?
Right. So they say, well, we play online, we play Fortnite, we play video games, and it's all these kids talking. And you have kids that you don't know who their kids are playing with, and you don't even know if they're kids.
Oh my God.
So you have these people that, and I tried to watch my son the other day while he plays. He has 50 people or whatever, so many kids on the game. And they have he has a microphone that's on his controller that you can hear what's being said. And I said, how old are these people? I don't know. I just mute everybody. I don't listen to anybody. But you can see that there's not just kids on these video games. There's mature, grown adults playing with these kids, saying these very nasty things. And these kids are sucking it up. They're learning, right? Because it's funny, because it's fun, right? Because Islam is boring. Learning Islam is boring. Learning Islam and Deen is boring. It's tiring. I don't want to learn this anymore. But playing video games and having some guy say these things, it's really fun, very entertaining. And it draws their attention and they learn it faster. They'll learn that faster than they'll learn the Fatiha.
Ya Allah.
And so when you put your kid in these video games, just expect and understand, we used to play Mario and Pac-Man and all these games that, it wasn't really connected to anybody. You can't really play with anybody. Now we have
by yourself.
You're playing by yourself, or you're playing with your brother, you're playing with your father, you're playing video games with your family members. Now you're playing with the world.
Hold on. I didn't know that. Now the game that Mario or this is that you contribute to other people other than that.
No, that's our games.
Yeah,
Back in our days.
New games now.
New games now, you can play with anybody. All over the world, they play the same games. So you can play Roblox with people from, you live in Florida, you can play with people in Canada. You can play with anybody. So you don't.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's internet. Internet is anybody and anywhere. And so what ends up happening is that these kids will play video games for 2 hours, 3 hours on the weekends or whatever, or maybe an hour after school. And they'll listen, they'll hear. And because a lot of the parents, they give their kids these headphones and they let them, put themselves in this world by themselves, parents don't see or hear what's happening. And so the kids go to school and then they repeat all this stuff that they're hearing, and it's a shock to the teachers. It's a shock to the parents. Well, I don't talk like this. How did my kid learn this stuff? Well, he's in sixth grade. How is he learning this stuff? He's not in high school. He's not in college. He's in an Islamic school. So when you get mad at the teachers or at the administration, well, I need you to discipline my child. I need you to teach my kid. I need you to rabbi walad. Well, no, that's your job as a parent. Your job as a parent to sit with them and explain to them. Today, we're walking around the grocery store, and there's a little girl in a shopping cart, and she has her mom's phone, and she's sitting like this while her mom's shopping, and she's sitting on the cart. And I'm watching this girl for at least 5 minutes, and the mom's, grabbing stuff, and the kid's still in the cart. And I look and I say, okay, this is going to be one of those iPad kids. We call them iPad kids.
I say, everywhere you go, you find it. I was in an airport.
Mm-hmm.
I just in Texas. I just came yesterday sick.
Yeah.
Actually, very sick.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of
You're
people,
sick, and I'm here next to you.
Yeah.
Oh, mashallah.
Actually, I was dying.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyway, believe it or not, all the kids in the airport.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have no idea. Everyone of the kids in the airport.
Absolutely. It's easier to keep your kid quiet by giving them a pad.
Yes.
And instead of having to say, hey, look, this is an orange, and this is a pomegranate. Explain to your kids what you're getting. You're at the grocery store. Tell them, show them, teach them.
I agree with you.
And talk to the kid. Hey, did you know that this is a peach and this is the pear? Explain to your kids what you're grabbing, what you're getting, what you're taking, and show them and talk with them. But you see them now, and you start them at the young age. This kid had to be 3, 4, 5 years old in a shopping cart. The kid can walk, the kid can move, the kid can get up and help you with your stuff. And when we talk about the internet, we talk about the kids, and we talk about all this stuff. We talk about the marriage, how marriage gets messed up through the internet. We talk about all these different things, and and we see what's happening online. We see it, and if you have a weak iman, if your iman is weak, and you don't have that closeness to Allah, you're not that closest to your deen, you'll fall into it.
Agree. So Ayin, you are there, Ayin, on Sunnahfollowers.
Who's in?
Ayin is my wife.
Right.
That's Chinese name. Chinese name.
Oh, Annie.
No, Annie in English. Ayin, you are there?
No, I don't think he's on.
Yeah, and share. So we'll discuss actually really important about this issue.
Mhm.
But also she gives a solution. We have a solution. But I know she's teaching, I think, with the solution. But brother, also, with all my respect for the kids, yes, may Allah bless the kids, guide the kid. What about the parents, brother? Parents now on the phone for male and female, even in the table. In the table, everybody on the phone.
Oh yeah.
How do you fix this kind of serious problem?
See, there's a big thing that people don't realize is, and I think we kind of touched up on this when we talked about addiction and how the phone becomes as addicting as drugs, right?
Yeah.
It creates that endorphins, the chemical balances of your brain. It's enjoyable, we're laughing. It gives us something to distract ourselves from the real problems that we have going on in our families and our houses with our kids. And if you have that much time, if you're spending that much time on your phones and you're not really doing anything productive, adults, yes, adults. Okay, all adults. Now we're talking about adults. Kids mimic adults. Kids watch the parents and they'll do what the parents are doing. Okay, so if the parents are sitting here and they're just scrolling all day, and right next to them is their own child, or across from their own kid, and the kids are going to do the same thing. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to mimic you. So when you're scrolling and you're wasting all your time, and one of the things I tell the kids at the schools is, look at the names of the apps that they're using. Just the names of the apps. Facebook. You keep your face in the book and just keep scrolling. TikTok. It's just TikTok, like a clock, wasting time, going. So when you look at the names and
hold on, TikTok. What does it mean with TikTok?
TikTok. When you watch clothes. TikTok.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's a name that they put right in front of you to make you to say it's a cool name, TikTok, but it's actually a TikTok. The time, the minutes, the hours, just going. And when you start to see how much time you spend on your social media.
Oh my Allah.
And the TikTok, that time is just clicking away. You're wasting all that time you could have been doing something productive. One thing we talk about when I talk to the kids is, hey, when you're having your family night, you're having dinner with your family, bring up something Islamic, something religious that you learn in school. Well, Brother Muhammad, that's boring. Like, I know it's boring, but if you want this dinner, this family gathering, to have a little bit of barakah, a little bit of rewards or something, just talk. You bring it up and say, Mom, look at what I learned today in school. You bring it up because your parents don't know how to ask you these questions. You bring it up little by little. You'll start to see the conversation shifting. And what I tell the kids is, because I know we put a lot of emphasis on the parent. If you see your parents on the phone, you see your parents, you see your mom, you see your dad, they're just going like this on their phones.
Yeah.
You go grab your kid. You go grab your mom, and you grab your dad, and say, "Hey, pops, hey, dad, can you come kick the ball with me a little bit? Do you mind, showing me how to kick a soccer ball?" You put that into your parents' brain and in your parents' head to make them think, okay, now he wants to interact with me. Because unfortunately,
ready to see that.
Unfortunately, our parents don't know. They don't know how to do it. They don't. The younger generation of kids and parents don't know how to really have a face-to-face. Think about it. I mean, we grew up without the internet.
Yes.
Right. We grew up when it started, and we grew up with it.
Yeah. Simple. Yeah.
The 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, these guys, they were born with it.
Yes, you're right.
So they don't know.
But then, regardless of the age, we're doing now.
Regardless, because it is addicting, and it gets very addicting, and the stuff, and then you have to ask yourself, and this is something I talk to the parents about, is what are you watching? Yeah. What are you putting on what's on your feed? If I take, and I asked one of the couple of parents, if I take your phone and I log into your TikTok and I go onto your page, what am I going to see? Am I going to see Islamic stuff? Am I going to see music and dancing? Am I going to see dawah stuff? What am I going to see?
We talked about, subhanAllah, I discussed this with my wife before. Mostly me, myself, for example. Me.
Mhm.
When the war started in Gaza, I used to watch the Jazeera channel, Arabic channel, about the news,
Yeah.
a little bit here and there and there. Now the war starts more than 1 year. I maybe more than 1 hour, even more than that.
Yeah.
Watching the news and news and news and news and news. For example, when I have breakfast, I watch the news. Lunch, have the news. Dinner, have the news. Dinner always with my wife away from the phone.
Yeah.
My point, yes, for me, I have a reason. But what about the other couple, male and female? No reason about watching the news, like have something happen.
Mhm.
But I scroll and looking, and they forget the most important thing: the household.
The household. So there's a thing called FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. We are afraid to miss out on anything. We want to know everything. So a lot of parents, a lot of people want to know what's going on around the world. They want to know what's going on in their countries. They want to know what's going on here. Everybody wants to know what's going on. They want to be up to date with everything. So when they go to work, they don't feel like they're left out. When they go to school for the kids, they don't want to feel left out. We are so wanting to know everything so much because there's so much information that we don't even care if it's true or not.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we'll just listen to a guy who puts a stethoscope around his neck and say, I'm a board certified neurosurgeon, doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling you guys that you should, drink alcohol twice a day because alcohol is good for your toes.
Some people do
I'm
that?
just joking.
Oh, I joke.
Making something up that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a sheikh. I'm not an imam. I'm just telling you guys that there's a lot of stuff out there that people are saying,
Yeah.
and people are listening,
Yes.
and they're commenting, "Oh my gosh, I know alcohol is good for my toes. I'm going to drink alcohol now."
Addicted.
And the mindset of some of these people, and again, it goes back to the strength of the parents on the inside of that person. So if you are a strong enough person in your heart and you have your closeness to your deen, then you shouldn't fall into that trap of, wait, this brother said that it's okay to drink alcohol twice a day. And he's a Muslim. He's wearing a kufiya. This brother is wearing, look how dressed he is. But he's saying I should drink alcohol. So I listen to this brother because he's dressed like a Muslim.
Oh my God, yes, you're right.
And so when you see that happening as a Muslim, as a person, we and converts and reverts who come to Islam, they see this. Oh, this brother who's dressed like a Muslim and he's saying all these different things. It must be true because I heard and I see him and he has the beard and he has he's wearing a Muslim attire. I trust this brother. We put our trust in people we don't even know.
Yeah, it's scary.
Very scary. And the thing is, I've seen this happening on so many occasions of these brothers who say, certain things about making wudu. And you don't have to make wudu if you took a shower this morning. Well, whoa, no, hold on, brother. That's not how. And you'll see the comments because that's what I go to. I always like to read what people are saying. And it's, oh, thank you, brother. Jazakallah khair. I'm good then. I took a shower this morning and it's Isha time, so I don't have to make wudu again. No. And you see these people listening to
actually,
these
it's true. Yeah, some people do that.
Some people say these things, and it makes me upset because it just shows me how weak the people are.
The key, the most important thing, a lot of people don't know that. What is the first surah revealed to us? The surah in the Quran. اقرأ اقرأ باسم ربك. اقرأ, read. This is the first, actually, the most of our kids, this is what I was supposed to do with Sunnahfollowers. Most of our kids leave the Islam, we don't read, we don't understand, we don't. And the first ayah is supposed to comprehend. اقرأ, read.
Or they can't read, or they don't read, and then they go to somebody online, and they say, "Let me say what this scholar says, or this person says about this question that I have." They get the wrong answer, and then it's not the religion for me.
اقرأ, the books, bro.
Yeah.
اقرأ is the books.
And I tell the kids at the same time, listen, you can't ask your parents questions. Ask your imam. If it's a religious question, ask your imam. Ask your local person, or somebody you can trust. Because if you're going online and you're gonna look at these online imams and these online sheikhs and these online dawah guys, you're gonna get the wrong answers.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Ayin, you are there. Ayin, Sunnah followers.
I don't think she's there.
I don't know. Is there?
Mhm.
Sister Layla, Ayin is there?
No, she's not on there.
I'm fine. We have a beautiful topic actually to continue. Okay, brother, let's go back to our. Okay, go and send a follow please and share that it's a very important topic with the brother Muhammad. Please.
When we look at the way the world is right now and how we as Muslims, is that your door?
No,
Texas.
Texas. No, not me.
Is it?
It's not my phone.
No, I thought it was your wave.
No.
When
I
we-
call it 817.
Oh, okay, so when we see that how the world is right now and how easy it is to manipulate everybody, right? It's very simple to manipulate people, and you see how these girls are online and they're saying, you know, if your man's not giving you a brand new car every 6 months, then he's not really a man. These girls listen. Some of these girls, they listen to this stuff, and they'll go to their husbands and they'll say, well, I need a new car, and why aren't you getting me this? But you don't love me if you don't give me this, because again, now we have these expert people who are online playing these expert roles, getting these expert, opinions, and our women are seeing this, or our guys are. If your girl is not making you a steak and a potato every single day of every, when you come home, you have to. No, brother, that's not how it works. Like, relax.
Yeah,
But we see these happening, and so these couples that have just gotten married or have been married for 2 years or 3 years, and they see these things online, and they say, well, maybe this girl's right. Maybe what I saw online is correct, and maybe he doesn't love me anymore. Maybe he's cheating on me. Maybe he's giving all his money to somebody else, or maybe he's doing this, or maybe he's doing. So it starts putting these doubts, and this is some of the stuff that we see in couples. So we talk about the parents and online and constantly looking. We said in couples, you just got married. If you just got married, you should not be sitting here on this with your newlywed wife next to you.
But definitely there's solutions that brother especially in the marriage couple a lot of problems because of this.
Yeah, and one of the biggest solutions, and this is what I tell the people, because you can't just tell people put your phones down for right when you get home. You have to slowly, gradually push off of these things, off the devices. You can't just quit cold turkey. Again, it goes back to, it's just like a drug. You have to go slowly, right? Just the way we do with alcohol, the way we do with cocaine, the way we do with marijuana, the way we do any of these type of drug. You got to take things away slowly. So, like what I tell the couples, I say, you have to learn how to be with each other, right? You can't just, be married and then go back and sit on your phones and instead of having dinner with each other. Find a way to go out, do something together. Find something that you guys can kind of do together with your phones to the side, right?
SubhanAllah, I just discussed this. Ayin, are there?
I don't think she's on there yet.
Oh, she's there actually. I don't know how to check. No, go to Sunnahfollowers, please. Sunnahfollowers.net. Please.
There she goes. She's coming.
She's coming?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there now?
Give her 1 second.
I didn't know how to use my phone. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Lynn.
Wa alaikum assalam.
But we just discussed actually after dinner about the couple, the husband and wife using the phone, right?
Yes.
And Brother Muhammad just spoke about it also right now. I don't know, you are listening, right?
Yes, I was listening.
Yeah, you came with some solution for the couple. What, in your opinion?
So we were discussing that, there are addictions to cell phones, but sometimes we also just rely on the phones too much for important things, like for work, for family, for news, for all these things. But it's gotten so bad that even I noticed when me and you were eating breakfast outside, we both pulled out our phones and we're looking at our phones and we're not talking to each other, but we're showing each other, look what this person said, look at what's going on here, and look what my sister said. So we have to start putting the phones down, like everybody, and just learning how to connect with each other, just communicating, because we lost that. We're losing that.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. We lost the ability to do a face-to-face conversations. And you see that in the schools a lot, where the kids don't really know how to talk to each other. And when you see how much we need these phones, we need them. She's right. We need them for work. We need them to see what's going on around the world. We need them to check our emails. We need, we have our bank accounts on there. Everything that we do relies on our phones.
Yes.
Everything. And so when you have all that necessity into one object, it becomes an addiction.
Yes.
Okay, I looked at my bank account. I see everything going out. I see my bills being paid. Okay, now all my priorities and my important stuff is done. Okay, now let me go back on TikTok and let me see what's going on.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, okay, I checked all my stuff, I'm good to go. Let's put this thing down and call it a day. Call it, a couple of hours. I'm sitting here having breakfast and coffee with my wife. Let's talk about what we're gonna go on for today, or what we're doing tomorrow, or what do we do? Let's plan our stuff. Let's talk to each other. We forget about that.
Yeah, but I also, you mentioned something about how the solution of this problem.
Well, I was saying that we have
Don't
to
have problem with the other people.
Yeah, so I was saying that we should start slow. We can't just like what Brother Muhammad was saying, you can't just stop everything cold turkey. So for instance, as a family, don't look at your phone. Don't even bring the phone when you're sitting at the dinner table. Or, when you're going out to eat, don't pull out your phones, because that's when you go to a restaurant, you see everybody on their phone.
Yeah.
The waiters come to the table and they're looking at this side and that side, and everyone's on their phone. And then I was mentioning what Sister Sean does in Texas. She goes on camping trips, and it's a no technology trip.
Yeah.
And you're just in nature, and just how it used to be before we had all these gadgets. Everyone's talking, because now if you don't have a phone, you don't know what to do with yourself. Right?
But hold on, go back to the sister, Sean. She go outside with her kids, right?
Camping. They go camping. Every now and again, yes, as a family, and sometimes extended family, like other close friends and their kids. And no one, of course they bring their phone, but then when they're there camping, no one pulls it out. It's completely off. So you're just in nature and you're with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, that's an awesome solution. Doing those, what do they call them, technology-free camping trips or something like that. It's an awesome idea. And if you have that the means to do that, then go for it. It's very, very liberating. I tell people, you go 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you do it slowly, just like she said. But after you get the hang of it, and after you say to yourself, I don't need it anymore. I don't need to know every second of every day what's going to happen. If I don't find out today, I'll find out tomorrow. Don't worry. It's okay. I don't need, and that's what the feeling is, right? That need to know that this is happening here. This is happening here. This is what's happening over there. This is what this person said. Like she said, oh, look what my sister sent me. Oh, look what my brother sent me. Like, we have that need, that feeling of we have to know everything.
Mm.
And you cannot stop that cold turkey.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah.
And even, I'm sorry, feeling the need to respond. And now we have so many apps, and there's so many dings, ding, ding, ding. This app, I text you, you didn't respond. I can't respond. People can't respond to everybody all the time. Otherwise, you're going to sit there and be responding all day long. So just because I can see it and I get a notification doesn't mean that I have to respond to you because I saw it. So I started just shutting off all my notifications. And that's what Sister Rabia asked us to do as teachers. She said, just for 1 day, shut off all your notifications and all your apps. Don't delete them. Just shut them off and just see what a difference it makes. And I did that. And I was like, I have some peace. I have a chance to be with myself, with my family, without distractions. Not that they're not important when people are trying to reach me, but it become overwhelming, and then I feel bad not responding. So now people know if they text me, especially on WhatsApp, sometimes I don't respond for days or weeks because I don't see it, and I let them know.
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time.
No, she's absolutely correct, and I do that on my WhatsApp. I have notifications that are on quiet mode, and then when I open up my WhatsApp, I see 300 messages, 200 messages.
We do have thousands.
Yeah, and and Gmails and the Outlooks and all these different things, and I say, you can't respond.
You know what the best solution I found? One actually, shuyukh I share advice the people. I will listen to that. Years ago, the best way, put your phone away from your sleep. No, I never put my phone next to me. The charger against the wall.
Mhm.
I put it up there. I mean, actually, I mute an airplane, but it's still people somewhere around. But it's still because I don't want no one.
Yeah.
I completely no one to
Right.
answer. In the beginning, because of my family, this and that. But my wife, she's working and this and that. So I don't want to bother also my
Yeah,
family.
of course.
I don't bother my wife. She's sleeping. And with my phone, completely the opposite.
Yeah.
Nothing. And even some people call somehow, there is no way who's there to answer.
Yeah.
Regardless who.
Yeah.
And actually, my kids have some tone. If my kids, the tone, yes, I know that.
Oh yeah, the ringtone.
With my kids.
Separate ringtone.
Otherwise, there is no.
Yeah.
Even the favorite, my wife, my stepson, my 4 kids, and no one else.
I'm not on your favorite list.
Sorry, I didn't even call it because some people call it a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
of course. No,
And even some people with all my experience Sunnahfollowers, some people also asking for fatwa, especially in night time. That is impossible. I open the phone and answer the fatwa in night time. Daytime, I text. Actually, I will call me in the daytime, but not in night time. Period. In fact, after Isha, sleep.
and you see this happening. We're good.
We have time.
We got these. We can give you guys ideas. We can
Yes,
ideas.
ideas.
This is what we're doing. We're giving them a lot of ideas. We're talking to a lot of people, giving them some solutions. But the people know their own families.
Yeah.
You know your own family. I know my own family. Right? You have your own. So you know your own different ways. You might be Palestinian. You might be Pakistani. You might be Bangladesh. You might be Ethiopian. Teach your kids cultural stuff.
Culture.
Right? Bring the culture back to the family. You as the elder, you as the older person, you as the husband, the wife, the father, the mother, teach them about your life. Talk to them about your past. Use that time instead of scrolling on the phone to kind of teach them, what we used to do back in the days. Show them different things. This camping trip business, I did it a couple years back when COVID hit. We went on this camping trip and we spent about 4 days in the woods with no internet, and it was cool to see the difference, the smelling of the air, the being outside, let's build a fire, let's do stuff that you don't do in the city.
You're
right. And you look at your phone and no reception. Okay, if something happens to me, I'm dead.
your brother Muhammad, you are correct. It is very important. Last week, I went to Texas.
Mhm.
My daughter, she's sick, and my kids there.
Okay.
And we sit eating together, or have fun together in the park together. No one uses the phone.
Yeah.
We feel, believe it or not, we got more connected together.
Yes, of
Because
course.
no phone,
Of course.
we're just playing and jokes and this or running in the park. I don't use the phone. No one can use the phone.
Absolutely.
Except my wife called, I answer.
That one, I think we both can agree. You have
Yeah.
to. A little bit
Yeah.
different.
So, Brother Muhammad, but we need and actually, Dr. Lin also very important. He's a professor at university. But how do you deal with this kind of brother? When I'm doing parents, not kids.
Mm.
We now give an advice before we finish here. Give advice for the parents. What? Before the Hadith Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the first Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim and Tirmidhi, the first Hadith. What is the Hadith? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الأعمال بالنية. Every action with the intention.
Yes.
So my point, if my intention, I want to fix my kids, and Brother Muhammad give me advice, then I have to follow this advice to fix their
Absolutely.
intention. If I have intention, true intention, with class,
Yes.
sincerity, I fix it. We need sincere advice to have intention in Sunnahfollowers all over watching us to fix the problem, the phone, all the problem. We need to fix our family, our household. May Allah guide us. What to do, Brother Muhammad?
So, like you said, first and foremost is the intention. I think everything we do as Muslims have to have that intention in our hearts for whatever we're doing. Just understand also that we're talking about camping and we're talking about these different answers or these different solutions. You as a parent, you might not like to be out in the woods, to be out camping. The kids are going to look at you like, "What are you talking about? What, since when does dad want to go camping or mom want to go camping? You don't even like to get your hands dirty. What What are you talking about? So you have to figure out what you as a parent would like. Like what's your thing? What was your thing back in the days when you were a kid? Right? And show them and teach them. It's okay, look, when I used to be a kid, we used to play freeze tag outside, hide and seek outside. We used to do these things. Let's go, let's relive my youth as a parent. Right. But if you're a parent who likes to go camping or who likes to go fishing or who likes to go do these things, go take the kid out there and take them in the middle of nowhere and go out there and do these things with your kids. And that time when you're camping or when you're fishing, or when you're playing tag or when you're playing outside or when you're doing something, that's when you can have that talks, those conversations, those small little talks to your kids about, oh, we used to do count instead of counting in English, count Arabic. Count, instead of count Arabic. I want to hear you what you learned in school. Count, and now you're having a conversations. Now you're doing different things.
Oh, yeah.
So you're slowly throwing in, and you can't do this. It doesn't happen in one day.
It's step by step.
Just remember, and please everybody remember that it doesn't happen in one day.
It's step by step.
It's a process. You're talking about, let's say if your kid is 12 years old, you're talking about 10, 11 years, depending on when you first gave them the power of the internet in their hands, whether 10 years or 11 years of a habit breaking thing. You're trying to break that habit now. And so you can't break that habit that you've given this kid for 10 years in one day. This kind of thing takes time.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't just throw, I just learned from Sister Annie that I can take my kid camping. I'm going to go take him tomorrow. Well, if you've never done it before, do you know how to go camping?
You prepare. You have to prepare.
Yeah.
But
Ask questions.
The key is intention.
Intention.
Yes.
That's the first thing. First thing is always intention. The second is do something that you know that you're going to enjoy and that your family's going to enjoy.
Yes.
Right. Don't just do something that you're going to like. What else can you do that's going to make the family as a whole get together? The best thing that, at least for us, is when we're having, we do a campfire and we make hot chocolate or something, and we all just sit around and talk and laugh and joke around and stuff like this. When you find out what your family is good at, that's what you're going to start doing.
Great.
Right. And you don't just jump into it in one day or one weekend. You slowly work your way up to that whole thing of, all right, guys, we're gonna go fishing this weekend, and we're gonna stay out there for 3 hours. I got a cooler, I got some ice, I got some drinks, I got some food.
3 hours and 6 hours, I mean.
I don't fish, and I know for a fact if I go fishing, I would be super bored, and I would be the guy that pulls out my phone and starts looking at my phone. I don't like to fish, but my son loves to fish.
Yeah, some kids, yeah.
So I said, my brother, take him fishing because my brother likes to fish.
Yeah,
go take him. Go take him fishing.
Yeah, but I just said, and also Annie, please give other advice for that, inshallah. What about the mom? Actually, mostly in the home also, but also attached to the phone.
The thing is with the phones is,
the mom.
Yeah, the moms. Listen, it goes for moms, daughters, everybody. The phone can be very exciting or can be very depressing. Ever since this war has been going on, I've noticed a lot of the Muslims have been very depressed. Right. And because they see everything, they watch and everything there, it's depressing. It's very depressing. And, you feel powerless to do anything about what's happening over there. And you just keep watching and you just keep watching. And 1 minute you see, oh, okay, they did this and maybe it's going to be better. And you get excited for a day, you're happy. And then the next day you're depressed again. People's emotions now, because of what's going on overseas and what's going on with our people, it's like this. Up and down.
Yeah, agree.
Up and down.
Agree.
And it's sad.
Yes.
And a lot of the times, from what I understand, there's a lot of the moms who are stay-at-home moms. They're just watching constantly.
Yes.
And so it is sad. And I am always sad about these things. And
address the mom.
So one of the things I always try to explain is you got to turn it off.
The phone off.
The phone. You just got to turn yourself off. You got to turn it off. You got to let. You can't, it's not humanly possible to continue to watch this stuff and not be affected by it. If you're a Muslim, if you're a person of, not just a Muslim, if you're a human that believes in some type of God or some type of higher power, and you're watching all the stuff that's happening overseas, and you have to be affected. It affects you.
Yes.
It affects all of us.
Trust me, yeah.
Just as much as everybody else that it does, it hurts. And it gets to the point where it becomes too much. to watch, because we know we can barely do anything, right? We feel like, oh, we can't do anything about this, and our government's doing this, and our government's doing that. And you see this stuff happening with the election. People are watching the election. You see the people watching this. You see, and it becomes anxiety, depression, and we forget that at the end of the day, what's going to happen is the will of Allah. We can't do anything about these things. We're not there. And the only thing we can do is what? What can we do? You're the sheikh. You're the mashallah. What can we do as Muslims when we see all this stuff happening?
Honestly, myself, when somebody, especially in Gaza, somebody in Missouri, I go, I even have wudu. I go again with wudu again, but with cold water. I go 2 rak'ah, Allahu Akbar, 2 rak'ah with relief. Me.
Yeah.
Some people actually do that, go outside. Some people scream, get tired, get calm down.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the person and how they can handle the situations.
Exactly.
But I would tell people, you don't need to know what's happening every single day. You don't need to know what's happening every single hour.
Yeah, correct.
You don't need to know.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's all you need to know is stay close to your deen, stay close to your faith, make your salahs.
Oh, this is a very important point. Hold your deen.
Yeah.
In fact, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu قال القابض على دينه, when he hold his deen in his deen like this, القابض على جمرة, just he holding a charcoal in his hands. That's the deen.
Yeah.
Annie, you have advice, Ayin, Dr. Lynn, Ayin, for the brother and sister in Sunnahfollowers and all over the world watching us right now? Advice, please.
Yeah, so it's ironically it is something that you can get from the phone to kind of put yourself in check, because as Muslims we have to, Allah told us about the importance of time, and we have to guard our time. We're going to be asked about time, and sometimes we don't even realize how much time we are spending on the phone. So on the phone, I don't know about Androids, but I know on the iPhone there is an app where it tells you how many hours you're spending on the phone, screen time, and how much time you're spending on certain apps. And there's even a limit where you can set a limit for yourself on the app, and you can get a report every week on like your usage. So sometimes we don't even realize, no, I wasn't on the phone a lot, and then you if you go and you get that report, you can see, oh, I was spending 5 hours a day. Well, then how much salah did you do? How much Quran did you do? How much dhikr did you do? How much of something else did you do that we're going to be accounted for? So you can that's one tip, to kind of use that to kind of put yourself in check.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
There. What time now?
5 minutes.
Oh, sorry, brother and sister. I want to speak more and more this time. So, yeah, Sister Layla. Sister Layla.
Yeah, she's coming.
They have to. A lot of the apps have to put those timers on there now because of the government making mandates on putting limits, like the ability to have parental control on the apps. So you can control how much time your kids can stay online.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is the app?
On the app itself, like on your phones, on your apps, there's actually ways to, because we, when we open up our phones, when we get a brand new phone, we don't look at the user manuals and read.
Yeah.
We just turn on our phone and say, okay, let me get online.
Can you explain that before Sister Layla?
Yeah, there's ways of really looking into your phones to see how you can set up the parental guidelines on the phones. And Annie said it, we talk about it for the kids. I always talk about it for the kids, but she's right. Set it up for yourself. Right? So I mean, there's an app. I know on my phone itself, on my Android, it will come up at night saying you spent X amount of hours on your phone less than you did yesterday.
Wow.
So yesterday you spent this much time, this time you spent 1 hour less, and it'll say, good job using your phone less. So there's like ways, there's ways of setting up these things.
Wow.
Annie, she brought up a good idea that, technology has to give you a way, like the people that make these technology, these apps, these phones, they put a way for us as parents or you as an adult to set up little limits.
Yeah. Control
yourself.
Yes. Sister Layla.
Sister Layla cannot speak right now. She's screaming. So
okay, no problem.
We're done anyway.
Okay,
I have a question.
Yes.
the brother. What I heard you say was about the fishing. You said if you took your child fishing, you would be on your phone. So what I heard you say was that find someone else that does like that can take the child so that you won't have to do it to be on your phone. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes, absolutely. Because yeah, like I was telling him, I'm going to do something that I like to do. I don't mind going camping. I don't mind teaching my kids how to build a fire. I don't mind teaching my kids how to get dirty. But fishing to me is very boring. Or like I'll give you another example. Those little boats, the kayaking. You know, I can't do kayaking. I can't do water. As I just don't like it. But so I'll send my wife. She likes to do it. She can do it.
And your brother also.
Or my brother, he can do it.
Yeah,
but, you know.
but he's not there.
But I'm with them. I'm watching or I'm doing my own thing. But if I'm going to do something with my kids to make them get away from their phones, their tablets, or their video games, I'm going to make sure I try to do something that they would enjoy doing as well.
Yeah. For example, actually,
And myself,
the American football, I don't know. No,
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel to them they're like a cows hitting each other. But my kids are attached to this game. I go with them. Suppose when they win, I say, when they lost, But honestly, I have no idea. But only my kids.
Yeah.
I can spend time with other things other than
Of course.
Yeah. Any more questions, inshallah, brothers and sisters, and Sunnahfollowers and or Sunnahfollowers only for that one, inshallah. Okay, we finish actually, inshallah. So, bi'idhnillah, next week, bi'idhnillah, continue new topic, bi'idhnillah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and guide our kids and guide all the Muslim ummah, ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather all of us with, praying together in Masjid Aqsa with the freedom بإذنه تعالى. جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم جميعا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.